All right, guys, game number 3 just around the corner. It looks like, in fact, the countdown has started, so we are ready to go. Team 15 taking on Team Pikachu here in this best of the 3. This is the final and deciding game. Again, this is elimination here. We're in the round of 128. You lose, you're done. You win, you advance on to the round of 64. So big things happening. $40,000 prize pool ultimately on the line here, as we keep stressing. It's so much money. You want to win, to say the least. So, Tralfamido, are you ready, man?
I'm ready. I'm ready to see what both teams have to offer. Last game we saw the early Keeper of the Forest pick up by Pika, and I really think that Team 15 punished them for it. When you show a hero like that so very early on, it's very easy to come up with counters to it, and Team 15 did a good job doing that.
Yeah, it definitely showed that last time around. So, again, the picking stage, oh so important in these competitive games, and I'm sure it's going to be just as important for a third game here. So with that said, we are in the locking stage, so let's go ahead and jump into the game here. The blind bans are currently finished. We have Silhouette and Dark Lady by the Legion team, and Pebbles and Tundra by the Hellborn side. So again, not too surprising with the Pebbles Tundra. We got Silhouette and Dark Lady, though, as far as the bans here by the Legion team. So wanted to take out those two carries as a result of the blind ban here.
Yeah, and to be honest, if I wonder if Pika's going to go with this strategy. I talked about it before yesterday, where you will ban 2 of the 3 hard carries that I've talked about, which is again Silhouette, Mage Bane, and Dark Lady,
yeah.
And then you pick the third one. I could definitely see a lot coming out from Mage Bane, because if he does get banned in the regular banning phase, that's going to be all 3 carries gone. But if you lock him, and since Pika is the Legion side, they do get first pick out of the lock pick pool. They're going to get that carry if they so wish to do it. So, yeah, interesting to see what they do here for the next 2 locks.
Yeah, we got, of course, Nymphoria to start it, Aluna Glacius to follow up, so it's safe to say I don't think we're going to be lacking support this game around, powerful support at that. So
yeah.
You mentioned, though, these next 2 locks here. Will we see that Mage Bane, or will it be something else here for Team Pikachu? And where do they go? So, as you mentioned, though, the big flaw in Team Pikachu's strat was really that Keep of the Forest. How early they picked it up, and it no doubt proved to be kind of costly all throughout that game, especially from the beginning, and just really all throughout as it scaled on. So we'll keep an eye and see if Pikachu, any mistakes happen this time around when it comes to something like that. But Electrician actually going to be locked here, so that final lock, we'll see if it comes up or not. I mean, you got to think if he somehow makes it to the locks, he will be banned. So it's pretty much up to Pikachu. And no, they're going to lock Moraxis instead. So Team 15, highly doubt they would lock the Mage Bane, giving them that option.
Right.
But so yeah, they're going to finish off with their own here. But not going to see the Mage Bane this time around.
Yeah, at least not in the locks. And if he does manage to get to the bans, I don't know. Maybe these teams don't value, well, specifically Pika, because there's no way 15 would want to see that locked.
Yeah.
Doesn't value Mage Bane that much, but Electrician and now Fade out there, so maybe 15 is
Baiting
suspecting them. Yeah, maybe baiting them with the Mage Bane pick there. I don't know, but the bans haven't come yet. Total, though, for all the locked heroes, we have Nymphoria, Luna, Glacius. It's hard. I gotta read them because I can't see them. Nymphoria, Luna, Glacius, Electrician, Moraxis, and Fade. So again, we're not seeing those crazy locks in that lock pool like we have seen before. Teams just kind of playing a little bit more safe here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is the case. But as you mentioned, really when it comes to that group stage, I think that's where we'll start seeing that open up a little bit more when you have more room to work with. But again, it's single elimination tournament. It's a best of 3, sure, but especially now in game number 3, I mean everything is on the line here. So, and again, $40,000 prize pool, and top 32 teams get a piece of that prize pool. If you make it to the group stages, you at least get a piece of that, being $250 for 9th, 32nd. So. Again, for both these teams, that's going to be big for them. But the banning phase has started here. Parasite, Tempest, Magnus, Ophelia. We got 2 more bans to go here, so we'll see. Still have Mage Bane on the board. If Pikachu can get the opportunity to get him, they have 1 more ban themselves, and of course 1 more for Team 15. You still got Jerizaiah out there as well. With that said, of course, Electrician in that locking pool, so maybe a reason why you don't see that. And actually, Pikachu will go ahead and ban Mage Bane. Themselves, so they're not even going to leave it up to 15 to make the choice for them. So I think it ultimately does have to do a case of they just don't value him, highly like a lot of other teams do, and just don't want to have to play against him either. So
yeah, I think it's just their style. I mean, if we watch 2 games now where Team Pika has kind of gone for a more push, in your face early style. I mean, they picked Pharaoh both games. And maybe they just don't like that hard carry, sit around kind of rice for 20 minutes. And hey, that's much more interesting as a spectator. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I guess. Yeah, here I am, kind of disappointed that they didn't, just because we almost thought it was coming. But what am I saying? That's a good thing for us. So
yeah,
so yeah, no mage bane, yay! So Dark Lady mage bane out of the way. First pick coming up now for Team Pikachu is Jeremiah, actually, with the last ban there by Team 15. As I mentioned, you got an electrician in that locking pool, but Team 15 just doesn't want to have to make sure to not have to deal with that quote-unquote cheesy hero. So Torturer is kind of a hero that has died off a little bit to me as far as I'm seeing him. And whoa, Polywalk Priest first pick, but how about that? Bombardier picked up by our Hellborn team. It's funny because I happened to be watching Kezu's stream earlier. He was streaming some Heroes of New Earth, and he actually was playing Bombardier in one of his solo matchmaking games. And I thought to myself, like, Bombardier's actually he's a damn good hero. He's a fun hero to watch. He brings a good amount of burst damage, and he's actually pretty solid when it comes to the solo laning phase. I mean, obviously, compared to a Bubbles and a Hag, he doesn't have that escape and whatnot, can't play Suicide maybe as effectively, but I would like to start seeing him more. So sure enough, though, Team 15 picking him up here. Bombardier, what do you make of it, Trout?
I love Bombardier. I love him a lot. He's one of those heroes too. He's level 6. He doesn't need items for his ult to be effective.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a hard game on Bombardier, it doesn't matter. You hit a level 6 and you have any kind of stun in your team, and bam, you're instantly there to be a part of the gank, but you're sitting in the well. So it's such a great hero. I love him, and I'm glad. I'm surprised more teams don't pick him up as often as I think we should see him being picked up.
Yeah, and again, between his 3 abilities, especially that Boom Dust can be very annoying, in that laning phase, and of course the Sticky Bomb can be as effective. But yeah, you mentioned that ultimate of his, and so that on top of Bubble, so they definitely got a couple solo heroes out of the way. I mean, we'll see if that's ultimately what it ends up happening to be, but they got their final pick now here with they're right-clicking Wild Soul, actually, but they still got plenty of time left here to actually choose, but yeah, but I'm bringing that up because you got Bombardier Bubbles again, both very powerful solo heroes. So it makes you wonder: are they going to go with the jungle with this pick here? Because there's no jungle heroes locked actually in that locking pool. And as far as the options, it's really Keeper of the Forest, Wild Soul, and Legionnaire even, if you want to go stretch it that far. But the Legionnaire, all right, tuning in, okay, all right, clicking him. So I think it's safe to say, okay, no, they're going to go make me look bad
Trolling
in
us.
the end. Yeah. They're just having fun, I guess. So Forsaken Archer, though, going to be the final pick here for Team 15. So, no,
Okay.
I wonder if that's going to turn into a tri-lane here with these last 2 picks because of that. And it could be very possible with the... Okay, yeah, so Nymphora and Aluna here, or Nymphora Glacius even.
Yeah, definitely one of the two. I think Aluna would be a little bit more smart. He's not as susceptible to ganks as Glacius is. Great. I mean, Aluna is just probably the best support hero in the game. But who knows? I mean, Glacius with the slow is very strong too. But yeah, they do go ahead and go with the Aluna.
Yeah, and that gives Team Pikachu now, of course, if they want to, they can go Glacius. But that's 3 very strong remaining heroes there. So depending on how they want to lane things, and I mean, looking at their lineup, yeah, I was gonna say they could definitely still use a hero like Glacius. So it is gonna be Glacius to finish off. So there we go. Now we got both sides. So Glacius, Demented Shaman, Corrupted Disciple, Fade, and Polywog Priest over here for Team Pikachu. So they picked up that Fade despite it being locked by Team 15. That's also something to kind of bring up. But what do you make of the Legion team over here, Trev?
The way that I see it, another thing you got to think about too when you're playing these teams is who's playing what hero. That tells you a lot about what the lineup is going to be. And we saw a swap onto Book for that Demented Shaman instead of having TPS priceless by the Demented Shaman. So that means we're probably going to see a solo D-Sham, solo Polywog Priest, and a support Fade is what I actually think is going to happen. I've seen Team Pika do this before. I've seen several teams do this before, and it actually works quite well. I'm not 100% sure that's what they're going to do, but seeing how Book is playing the D-Sham and not TPS Priceless, that gives you some clues as to what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's a very good point to bring up. And so support Faye, it's for me. I mean, I know when they were formerly known as Frey, but of course not TT Esports, they actually ran it a couple times as well. I believe Waitalaba was known for doing it every now and then. And I know a couple of players that I've actually talked to, they actually value Fade as pretty powerful support. I mean, her stun's a very powerful stun for right from the beginning, being the 1.6 seconds, and of course goes up to 2.5. And she can basically get to a point. She just really needs to be level 6, and then she can start roaming around with that ultimate and set up some good stuns to support to get to some eventual kills. So although she won't be that snowballing style of Fade, I mean, doesn't necessarily mean that she won't be useful. So we'll see. Tankafed here playing for Team Pikachu, playing that Fade. And what that comes out to be, of course, good once again sitting in the pause here to start off this game and officially making it competitive. But Hellborn side, so overall, potty breaks. We got Bubbles, Nymphora, Aluna, Bombardier, and Forsaken Archer. So how do you think overall Team 15 did here this time around?
I think the heroes are good, but I think they're just so damn squishy. They're really delicate, and they gotta be really careful about any kind of super early aggression coming on from the Legion team.
Yeah.
And I mean, by the time if they're having a good game on Legion and Fade can hit that level 6 fast, I think this is going to snowball out of control. So if they don't get that, then I think in the long run the Hellborn team is going to be in a much better position. But like I said, they got to be very, very careful about their positioning and about their lanes. What I expect them to do, I'm not 100% sure. I think they're going to do a safe tri-lane and put FA, Aluna, and Nymphora in their safe lane up top, have a Suicide Bubbles, and then a solo Bombardier mid. Not 100% sure, but when you have a hero, those heroes that are so susceptible to ganks, I think it's a little bit smarter to put them into your safe lane.
Yeah, just to be safe. Better to be safe than sorry. Bombardier, another thing to talk about him is Staff of the Master. He's another hero that you can definitely value Staff of the Master being important on. And I wonder how you would actually value that item, if that should be considered a core item on him even.
I don't think it's a core item. I think it's good. Let's see what it does. It deals
path or whatever.
Oh, it leaves a dot basically. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I really like Staff of the Master. I feel like with Bombardier, I mean, you have a minor slow on them with the bombardment. You have a sticky bomb stun that will stun if it hits and you wait the full duration. But other than that, he really doesn't have too much utility. So that's why I feel like utility items are much better on him. Things like a Sheep Stick or a Hellflower or a Push Book. I feel like those items are put to better use on a Bombardier than something like a Staff of the Master.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see FedEx for the win. And what he chooses to go for, because, yes, ultimately it is his choice. Can only influence it so much. So, but hopefully we get back into this game soon enough. While we are sitting in a pause here to reiterate some other things about really this tournament as a whole once again. So this is the round of 128, round of 64. So every single day, of course, cuts down by half. Again, that's how the tournaments work. You do the basic math. Tomorrow we'll be back at the same time, and every single day there are a couple break days. I believe the first one coming up happens to be after tomorrow. So tomorrow's Monday, of course. So Tuesday, there will be a break. And as far as covering this event, not to say that we won't be casting anything, and definitely stay tuned. We'll let you know as soon as possible if something comes up. But so there won't be coverage on Tuesday for the DreamHoN event. That'll be the break day. Wednesday will be the group stage selection show. And then Thursday is actually when the group stage play starts. And again, that is 8 teams in each group. There's 4 groups total, so you got 32 teams total. It'll go every single day. It'll be a new group. So it'll start with Group 1, of course, or Group A, however they want to classify it. So there'll be 4 groups. So you do A one day, B the next, C the next, and then D the 4th day. And then it cycles. So you go back to the one, then match number 2. So every 4 days, basically, it'll be each group playing. So again, that'll keep a lot of versatility going, and as far as diversity, even as far as the matchups that we have and whatnot. So that I keep going back to that, because that's definitely really the big part of this event that I know both you and I are really looking forward to, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers out there are as well. But obviously have to get to that point first, and one of these 2 teams, that chance is going to go away after this match, unfortunately, or the other one, their hopes will still stay alive. So, but we have resumed the game now, so we can now finally get an idea of how they're actually going to be laning things. But yeah, every single day at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European Time, you can expect a cast here for DreamHoN as far as coverage goes. So yeah.
Yeah, and As far as these lane setup, actually they did start out the lanes with the tri-lane as I suspected up top, but then they switched it up. And now that I think about it, I actually really like that because solo Demented Shaman in the short lane is going to absolutely destroy Bubbles. Like,
Yeah.
not even freaking close. Just going to manhandle them. And when you can, but the thing is if you tri-lane against it with the stuns and the snares that you have from the Hellborn side with FA, Nymphora, and Luna, I mean, Demented Shaman, while he has the heal and the cape, he is not going to get away. He has no escape mechanism. So that's a really smart decision now that I think about it, coming out from 15. And then also, at the same time, when you put Bubbles in a short lane against 3, it's even better having Bubbles against a tri-lane because there is so much escape mechanism coming out for him between the Shell Surf and the Take Cover.
Yeah.
So I really like the decision-making coming out from 15.
Yeah, and you hit it right on the nail, too. Sure enough, we do see that support Fade being played by Tankafed here, so Corrupted Disciple, of course, going to be the focus of this tri-lane, and but as you just mentioned, Bubbles, this is something that you could say could even be used to in a matchup like this, especially being the short lane. That'll help even that much more. So it has that escapability if it comes down to it, and could make it that much more difficult. So, but right off the bat, however, Nymphora and Aluna, they're not going to look to try to apply some harassment early on onto Demented Shaman. Instead, they're going to roam towards the middle lane, and there are no wards here for Polywalk Priest. Now, of course, you could definitely guess that with them being missing still, it's always a possibility, and I'm sure that's definitely in his mind right now. You see him playing very, very passive here. But he doesn't have actually any vision, so this could get a little bit dangerous here for Polywalk Priest, depending on how Aluna and Nymphora time this. But this is also allowing Bombardier to just get some free farm here in the meantime as a result of him playing so passive, so that's a good news for the Hellborn team still.
Well, and they're responding. They actually brought Fade and Glacius over here. So they're going to have a little bit of a counter gank if they want, and I actually think that they're going to get the better deal of it because Bomb might not have a heads up, although hopefully Bubble sent him some information. And as the Hex comes out, the tongue tie to follow, maybe stun from Faye is coming next, stacking their stuns very well, but all this tower damage coming out of Polly, and he actually gets the Bloodlust going out to Bombardier.
Wow!
So yeah, and then the counter initiation coming out, but it's just way too late. That is just a huge misplay right there. You gotta know that when you're taking that tower damage, you need to back away and let it go to something else because that just was a gank turned wrong.
I don't know what he's... I mean, it's almost as if he was thinking for some reason the tower would stop attacking him if he got the kill. So he was just manning up saying, like, we're going to get this kill and I'll stay alive. That was just very awkward right there. And the fact that he gave up the bloodless kill really sucks. Nymphora will end up going down, though. So good job by Fade and Glacius sticking around long enough to help Polywalk Priest come back in, actually. And at least get an assist right there, what happens to be a second. But, yeah, that was just... wow. I mean, that was an awkward start to this game here. Again, this is game number 3, the elimination game for one of these two teams. And, well, Bombardier, despite him, what should have been a bloodless kill onto him, he ended up getting the bloodless kill as a result of that situation. You see right there as well, comes back into the lane, and right off the bat, he is level 3 now, so has a slight level advantage. Also playing some routes, and you see he already has a bottle. I mean, that bloodless kill helped him big time, so he's got a pretty big lead now. In that sense, at least, against this Polywalk Priest because of that.
Yeah, he does. And good job by Rhythmi to put that ward over there. It is going to spot any kind of possible roaming from Fade, so Bombardier has a complete, has total idea of what's going on. So hopefully he'll play safe eventually. He's going to spam out the wave a little bit and force it to push up so that he has nothing to worry about, can sit at the tower, knowing that he has no creeps to farm in mid. Some ganking going on to bottom lane. I don't think Luna's actually shown herself. Oh, she's invisible, actually. The volley doesn't miss, though, and that is very bad. Another stun miss. That is not what you want. You need those ganks to be successful, especially when your supports are level 1.
Yeah, you're spending the resources. Again, you put it right there. Both level 1. They definitely could use a kill to maybe level up even, if not get a little bit of farm, but they spent a good amount of time and just to get absolutely nothing. I mean, not even getting kills one thing, but to put 0 damage out. She didn't have to use really any regen as a result of that. Forsaken Archer is going to take some counter harassment. We do see actually both Fade and Glacius are here. They're going to jump on Nymphora. Fade trying to do enough damage. She gets power throw, though. We'll have to fall back. And actually, Nymphora should be fine. Piercing or crippling volley again, once again missing right there by Forsaken Archer, just not able to hit, so TPS Priceless playing Glacius will be fine. In fact, they're returning the damage once again. Forsaken Archer, the Burning Shadow, so what a stun right there. It's all 3 heroes. Forsaken Archer will end up falling. The power throw hits Fade. Again, she's forced to fall back, but her job is already done. What a Burning Shadow stun right there in that triangle formation.
Yeah, and what she did right there is the way you position the stun when you click it with your cursor, she actually did not. I'm assuming she did not click it on any one hero because you can actually aim it a little bit better if you click it freely. Same thing with the Witch Layer stun. If you've experienced that, you can get the full range of it by clicking the ground rather than clicking heroes. So that's a little tip there for you all watching. It's much better to get in the habit of actually clicking the ground rather than clicking heroes for stun abilities like Burning Shadows and Witch Slayers.
Yeah, all those light abilities. I mean, Magma's another perfect example. It's just, you know, keeping that in mind. Exactly. You don't need to click on the hero. You can actually set it up even better. Lol. Even better. If you click on the actual ground. So Bombardier, though, again, showing his strength, harassing Polywop Breeze. Now, he is falling back because you see Fade with Striders actually coming in. Burning Shadows going off now. She's taking a lot of tower damage right here. Will it pay off in the end? She's going to go down as Sticky Bomb, and Bombardier will survive. So once again, the tower is defeating this Legion team right now. I mean, this is ridiculous. That is now 2 kills that have happened. And oh, the power throw just, or did it hit actually? That might have hit him if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, the Sticky Bomb comes out, and there we go. Gets the kill. He ends up with a double tap. Oh man, Bombardier he's probably just as confused as us. I mean, what are they doing?
If you've all seen that movie Unbreakable with Samuel L. Jackson, that is Bombardier right now. He was unbreakable. God. Although he did die once, it just seems like these ganks are so, I don't know, poorly executed by Pika. Although they do have a slight gold and experience lead, but I think they should just give up on ganking this bomb because it's not working out. Yeah. They had more success ganking this bottom lane. Maybe they should just do that. I don't know.
Yeah, some source, the Han gods just do not want you to kill Bombardier effectively. So it's one of those cases you just got to give into it because it's clearly not happening. I mean, he's level 6 now, so he has that airstrike ability. In fact, with the bottom lane media, he's right here himself help Forsaken Archer, but not even going to matter as Forsaken Archer just gets decimated. Got caught in that great healing wave as well as, of course, Glacius and Fade assisting. So I will say, though, I mean, Fade especially, I mean, they've been roaming quite a bit here for the Legion team, being very, very active for Team Pikachu. So that's been the good thing. I mean, they have 4 total kills, and Fade, sure enough, is 2-1-2, as Glacius also 1-1-3. So both of them have been involved in every single kill so far in this game as a result of being so active. So Strider's first Fade, by the way. I mean, does that make sense because of the situation, and like the Striders pick up on Fade?
Yeah, I do. It gives her so much mobility, and especially this early on. And, you know, the more and more I see it, I actually really think support Fade is viable, and it seems to be working on every single game I've seen it tried.
Yeah.
And so I really like it. Maybe more teams will be doing it now.
Yeah. It's, again, it's definitely something we have seen a little bit before. It's been tried and whatnot, but never really stuck. But maybe with the success that's happened so far this game, and giving teams once again to start trying it out. Says Tankafet so far has been pretty impactful for the team, and they're going to keep this push going. In fact, Dimension Shaman needs to make sure not to overstay his welcome, though. You do see Bombardier running in, of course, Nymph there, applying the Grace of the Nymph, and they should be able to deny this tower as FedEx for the one gets. And meanwhile, the top lane of Luna comes in, but Fade from behind right there with a Burning Shadows will help take it to Luna. The Corrupted Disciple conduit, enough damage right there. Forsaken Archer, one more auto attack, not going to be enough. Corrupted Disciple will get away, and so will Fade. So Corrupted Disciple living
3
life
HP,
on the edge.
I think.
Was it down to 3? Dear God. I'm surprised it didn't die. I thought that last attack was going to do it, but Han God's on his side apparently. So, man, barely surviving. But again, Fade, going back to him. He was there and perfect timing with the Aluna going in to jump, so deserving a lot of credit so far this game.
Yeah, doing a good job, but I must say, I don't know if I don't think he just hit 6, so a fault on him. But FedEx for the win playing Bombardier had the ultimate up the entire time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that definitely could have been used. I don't know what was thinking. Maybe he just thought it'd be a waste because it was a sure kill. I mean, he did almost die. He did live with 3 HP, but I mean, those spells are there to be used. And actually, Polywop comes up with the War Trap on a Forsaken Archer. He's going to be dead for sure. So SmackDown coming out. The kill does go out to Corrupted Disciple, being played by Gordob. And I don't know. I mean, I initially said that I liked the switch up by 15 to be aggressive on that Demented Shaman, but that's under the assumption that they actually were aggressive on him. They didn't stay bottom. They went to gank mid, which was a horrible fail. And I mean, they did get the Bloodlust, which was really big dirt moment.
Not because of them.
Yeah. Some action coming out here at bottom. Demented Shaman getting gone on. The ultimate does come out to secure the kill. And but they will get the counter kill on him for us. A good job again by Fade, moving around the map, doing exactly what he needs to do as a support Fade. But coming back to this, I mean, this Forsaken Archer is 0-3-0. He's gonna have such a bad game.
Yeah, this could be a kill for him if he stands his ground appropriately. Right here, comes the with the sticky bomb on him, and yes, as soon as it explodes, all of a sudden his life drops and he ends up falling. So he was doing a good job actually of almost turning that around, but the sticky bomb is too powerful and goes down. And sure enough, Forsaken Archer does get a kill. So just as you mentioned, Beano 3 right there gets a hero kill, and as GPM, it actually, despite the situation, I mean, it's 250 gold per minute, so not too bad when you look at that number. Of course, we're only 10 minutes in, could be skewed and whatnot, but yeah, so him definitely could get more out of him, though you would like for the Hellborn team to be successful, but still, a kill, definitely good for them. And Bombardier actually is now taken over as the top gold per minute in the game. In fact, he has now a major totem picked up with all the region, and actually Ghost Marchers as his choice of boots. So I'm guessing that major totem will turn into the eventual tablet of command here for him, as you were talking about earlier. But once again, we do see a gank attempt here at the top lane. In fact, Nymph4 going to caught by Demented Shaman right here. That is a level 3 in Tango, so the stun comes out a lot. Oh, excuse me, a lot of dot damage actually coming from that. Nymph4, of course, with a double damage rune activated. A couple more auto attacks, not even necessary. The Electric Tide maximum range pretty much will secure the kill right there. So another kill picked up by Gordob, and he is now 3-1-0 himself. And speaking of high GPM, well, 330 gold per minute. Again, looking pretty damn good for him. So early on, though, big item pickups. I mean, nothing crazy so far as we're now approaching the 11-minute mark here. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, when you have Demented Shaman level 7 and the level 3 Entangle, I mean, it just really cuts through those supports so much, especially on the Nymph4. When she doesn't even have boots yet, it's just it's almost a sure kill when you see them by themselves.
I'm sorry. They tried to gank Bombardier again, and it's just not working. This is ridiculous. It was Fade and Polybar Priest. Fade open with the Burning Shadows. They had the Morph. They had the Tongue Tie, but the tower was doing so much damage, and they just had to run away.
He's unbreakable. That's Samuel L. Jackson playing Bombardier.
Get off his damn plane. Oh, man. He is, yeah, he's holding his ground, and FedEx for the win is just, well, you said it. So, staying alive is the name of the game here for him. Again, 4-1-1 definitely working for him, and the GPM is up there, 335 gold per minute, so it's a big part of being able to somehow manage to stay alive throughout all of those attempts. But Fade, again, he's doing his best to keep acting. Actually, look at this. Fade a Bound Eye pickup already, so
ooh,
yeah. Excited for that.
I like it, but I don't like it this early because the idea is, you get the clear vision from your ulti, so it makes it very easy to counter ward. But at level 6, your ulti duration is so low; it's only 20 seconds. So I mean, it's a decent pickup. I like it. I really love the idea. It's something I do all the time when I play Fade, but I normally don't get it until I'm level 11 because the duration of the ulti is much longer.
Well, has it now, and it's actually right off the bat. You see him run up there, and sure enough, able to counter ward without even using his ultimate. Gets the appropriate position and takes it out. So
he's gonna find another one here.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, and it was just placed too. So this is brutal for 15. Already 2 wards are down. So right off the bat, proving to be a good investment here. Escalation's taking a lot of damage in the middle lane. The Sticky Bomb does enough damage to pick up that kill, but will it be enough to get the kill? Polybar Priest. Oh, he ran into the airstrike right there. A little bit of a misclick going on. So Bombardier proven once again to be the bane here for our Legion team. I mean, Bubbles, a good timing by him as well. He did have a nice Kelfield right there in response. But it's not, I mean, stop. It's not happening, guys. You are not killing Bombardier, so you might as well give up on that. But yeah, he's now 5-1-2 here, 13 minutes into this game. And that GPM, no doubt a big part of that is because of all those hero kills. But at the same note, Corrupted Disciple still does lead the way. And he continues to have a very good game himself, now at 385 gold per minute. And has been going up and up. In fact, with that Beastar pickup, you got to think Helmet Black Legion in the near future. Well, they're going to go for it again on a Bombardier. Will it be successful this time? As there comes a Hex, and yes, it will. The coal comes out, so mission complete. The raid boss is down. They can be happy with that at least.
Yeah, that was a good kill. Imagine, though, how hard he's going to be to gank once he gets that push book. I mean, it's going to be fun to see. But, no, Gordob playing Corrupted Disciple. He's just basically getting a free farm. He's got the Steam Boots and now the Helmet of Black Legion. He is tanky. He's also smartly picked up a Mystic Vestments. So, if they start team fighting with him, as well as Demented Shaman being level 8, good level on him, I mean, they're going to have so much sustainability in these team fights, like I talked about before. And I think that's what they really need to do. They need to start grouping up, sitting behind these Polywog Priest wards when they start pushing. And I mean, it's going to be really hard for them to respond because they don't want FA to be in these team fights. FA's had kind of a struggle. She is getting her farm back up. She's at 285 gold per minute. But she's been struggling a little bit this game, so they don't want her to show up in these team fights. They need her to just be free farming the game. So I think they can take advantage of that, group up and push, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and you know, again, as you stressed from the beginning too, just looking at the lineup, the Hellborn side, very, very squishy lineup. So of course, the sooner the better in that sense too. Before they start to get some bigger and better items to maybe help with that situation. You even mentioned the Tablet of Command, which has actually been picked up by Bombardier now, so he will be able to use that for escaping purposes if need be. But sure enough, you called it, grouping up, making a push right here. Fade in the background. Oh, that's Polywog Priest actually, way back here, but so is Fade. So a couple of invisible, and now Luna's going to be completely jumped out of control right there. It goes down. Sticky Bomb comes out on top of the cuff, not hitting anyone though. Forsaken Archer just melts as if she's nothing once again. Got her piercing arrows off. A little bit of damage from that. Song of the Sea Nuke for Bubbles as well, but they're going to shield downpour on top of everything else. Will take out Captain America's Bubbles, so America's last hope unfortunately falling right there. And the defensive tower also going to be taken out, so the Legion team doing what they can to do. Team Pikachu gets hero kills, gets the tower kill. May decide to fall back right here, or may not. They may just decide to keep this going at the same time. A level 11 Corrupted Disciple with the farm that he has early on. Why the hell not, I guess.
Yeah, this looks just like a complete executed strategy that Team Pika had in mind coming into the match. I mean, they're playing this so well. The heroes are meshing so well together. I mean, with the Polywog Priest. Oh, and actually, ooh, the airstrike coming out, but just not enough on the Demented Shaman. He is quite tanky. He's got steam boots. He has a Mystic Vestments, a completed power supply, and a major totem, so it did not get the kill there.
Well, I think he completely misjudged that because actually it might have been enough for the kill, but just prior to the Sticky Bomb damage, he actually used his power supply at the last second, which increases life a little bit more.
Okay.
So I don't know if Bombardier just didn't catch that or if he just said, screw it, I'm going to still go for it. But and the other big thing, too, is that he's level 10, so he's very close to that level 2 ultimate, but it's still level 1, so yeah, not enough damage to take out Polywog Priest, and that's unfortunate, or excuse me, Demented Shaman for Bombardier right there, so that's a big missed opportunity. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Team Pikachu, they clearly came in here with a strategy in mind, and that goes back to as well. I mean, remember, Fade was locked by Team 15, so Pikachu, they, I guess in that sense, really, they didn't go into the picking stage, maybe with that in mind, but well, it worked out.
Yeah, I think they got a little bit lucky in that sense, though, because I talked about before. I've seen Team Pikachu run a support Fade before. I've seen them do this, and so maybe that was just like. I don't know, maybe that was just a random lock by 15. I don't know, but I've seen Fade picked up by both teams now that I think about it. But this strategy is working so well. They have Corrupted Disciple as their main take, so to speak, if you're talking in WoW terms, and they have the heals coming up from the Demented Shaman, and then what they're doing is they're sitting behind in these pushes behind these Polywog Priest wards while Fade's scouting out in the background, and it just makes things so difficult for the Hellborn team, especially with how under-leveled their supports are.
I mean, look at the map right now, too, as far as warding goes. I don't think there's a ward side out by our Hellborn side, but that does go back to the credit of Fade and the Bound Eye pickup. Right off the bat, we saw her take out 2 wards a sight, and I'm sure she's gotten at least a couple more since then. So, yeah, I'm looking around, and there's a revelation up here, but obviously, other than that, there's 0 ward of sights right now on the map for Team 15 in a competitive game. I mean, you'd be the first to vouch for this, I'm sure, that how important wards of sight are when it comes down to being successful in a higher tier competitive game. So it's keeping them blind for the most part, and again, that goes back to that Bound Eye pickup and how useful it actually has turned out to be for Fade and Team Pikachu in here. In fact, you see Fade once again using the ultimate, going to charge it. Now there is a Ward of Revelation, but she noticed because she got attacked by the Hell Cannon, as well as, of course, having a Bound Eye, I guess. But anyways, they take it out, so no harm, no foul there.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons we also see Tundra banned pretty much every single game in the blind banning phase, is because it's the same idea, except even better, because you have the Hawk to work with. When you have a solo Tundra and you get that level 4 Hawk up by the time you're, I don't know, at the 10-minute mark or so, maybe a little bit later, but you get an early Bound Eye pickup on him and just destroy the vision of the enemy team, and then you couple that on top of the fact that you have the Hawk to give yourself even extra vision on top of any kind of warding that your team is doing. It just makes it so hard to fight into a black map. And you have the similar strategy coming out from Team Pika with the Bound Eye pickup early on to onto Fade.
Yeah. Another hero that was really good for that too is Slither. because of those wards, but we just don't see Slither anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, the nerf that happened a while ago with the vision that the wards gives kind of took that away. I think they brought back a little buff.
They met halfway. It used to be like 1,200. It went down to 300, I think, or something like that, or maybe something a little bit different. But anyways, they did buff it up a little bit more, so it's a little bit better, but still not where it used to be.
Right.
Which was pretty ridiculous. I mean, let's be honest.
Yes, it was ridiculous, and actually, now that I think about it, Slither, the little buff did help, and that, yeah, you're right. That is definitely another hero that an early bound eye pickup could be useful.
Well, we don't see him, so it doesn't matter. Maybe some team will come through, but Corrupted Disciple, he's got a Mighty Blade picked up now, so this especially, I know as you've been saying these last couple of days, Struck and how important that actually is. In so many cases, especially as an earlier item, despite people being afraid to do it. But Corrupted Disciple, to me especially, is just one of those heroes where it really should be a core item no matter the game. I mean, being able to freely move around a Corrupted Disciple with that Overload activated, with a Static Discharge, with that Conduit, being able to keep it channeled, is so important for him. So I think that's going to prove to be a very solid and very effective pickup here. And perhaps what they're kind of waiting for. So him get the Shrunken Head, and then they'll feel confident with grouping up and making a massive push happening. But for now, they're going to keep a little bit more of the farm game going on while the rest of the team does work, and it's going to start right here. Bombardier, oh, he gets the tablet off, but it ain't going to matter in the end. So good reaction initially by FedEx for the win, but just too much, and Tankafed on Fade once again there to get the initial jump off.
Yeah, and I just feel for the Hellborn team. I mean, I feel like Team Pika has them owned in terms of strategy. I mean, look at FA. I'm thinking about items pickups that she could get, and I really can't think of anything. She's going for Kelpville coming out from Bubbles, a snipe coming out will kill Glacius, the volley as well, the ultimate, and the airstrike comes out, and they're gonna get some good kills there, and that's exactly what they needed. So good job right there. And they got the bound die, so yeah, that's what they need. They need stuff like that to come back into this game. But as far as item pickups on FA, I mean, she does have the sustainer now picked up. It's probably gonna go for the for that nullstone, but I really don't think that's enough. I mean, it's a good pickup, but I mean, this Corrupted Disciple is still gonna pound auto attacks into you with the overload activated. So it's just gonna be a struggle. I mean, this game, in order for 15 to win, is gonna have to go to like 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see if Team 15 is able to hold it off that long. Obviously just approaching the 20-minute mark here, so if that is the case, still plenty of game left for them. But again, I really think that Shrunken Head pickup there on Corrupted Disciple, and a big part of the last fight was it was a great play by Team 15 because they saw Corrupted Disciple pushing that bottom lane. They realized they were doing it pushing the middle lane as well, and figured without Corrupted, they lose a lot of their firepower. And as we saw right there, they're correct. So good timing on their part, as Corrupted Disciple, by the time he came, the fight was already done. But if he happens to be there, and again with that Shrunken Head especially, that's where things will get a little bit well, very difficult for that matter, for a Hellborn team. So I really think that's what they're kind of waiting for. It needs that 1,300 gold for the pattern, but you know what? Maybe not. They're just going to keep pushing, actually, and push towards the secondary middle tower. You do see a little bit of pushing by Bombardier and N4 at the bottom lane in the meantime, but of course N4, she's level 7, so, or he in this case, they can port middle if they need to. In fact, he's going to start channeling it here. The tower will not fall, though, but they are going to actually have port up. Initiation has started. The wards are down. Polywire Priest dropping quickly. The airstrike hasn't been used this just yet, I believe. Forsaken Archer actually trying to get away. The airstrike is actually on cooldown. That would explain it from Bombardier. But Forsaken Archer gets caught by the Burning Shadows, and N4 gets taken out by the Electric Tide. There goes Forsaken Archer, and Bubbles just can sit in the background. Maybe try to snipe out. Ooh, he did not port, though. That would have been a bad move, so good job on him. But yeah, as I said, though, I mean, especially with Corrupted Disciple there, the fight completely changes, and I think we saw that there.
Yeah, it looked like it was almost going to go in favor for Hellborn for a second there with the Nymph TP. He got a really good line stun onto like 3 heroes there, as well as the spam coming out from Bombardier. Yeah. But it just simply wasn't enough. Corrupted is just too tanky at this point. It's dishing out so much damage, and now as the Shrunken Head completed, he just delivered it. And so this is just going to be so much more difficult for the Hellborn team, especially Shrunken Head is so good. I've said it like 50,000 times, I'll say it 40,000 more. It's so good against Bubbles specifically. I see a lot of teams, you know, get Tablet of Command on pretty much any support, and actually it is finished on Disham, but I don't like Tablet of Command against Bubbles. It just doesn't really do anything when you think about it. I mean, okay, so Bubbles are going to ulti you, I'm going to tablet out and stun myself.
Anyways, yeah.
Like, yeah, things like Storm Spirit are much better in that regard, but going back to Shrunken Head, I mean, it's just great pickup, and it's going to be really hard for Team 15 to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, Bombardier not having his ultimate off cooldown yet the last fight either really screwed them too. I was wondering when it was going to go up, and then I noticed it was still about 35 or 40 seconds even. So that level 2 ultimate, not able to get it off, and again, kind of unfortunate. Now, he does have a Blessed Ore picked up here as his follow-up to that Tablet of Command, so we'll see what that eventually turns into. Obviously, has some options with it, whether it's that Nullstone or Sheepstick are the first two that really come to mind. But we'll see where he goes. You mentioned Nullstone, Forsaken Archer, again, likely on that path, but, I mean, her gold per minute, it's continued to be very constant. It's been sitting around anywhere from 250 to 280. It's now up to around 290, but, again, I haven't been paying attention to 100% of the time, but it seems like a 300 gold per minute has kind of been the absolute limit for her. Just really hasn't been able to really break it, so.
It's just really way too low. I mean, you put it in perspective, the support Fade is almost catching up to her level as far as gold per minute. I mean, that's bad. And actually, support Fade going for a tablet, she listened to me and was like, screw you, Trout, I'm going to get it anyway. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't really see the point of it. But I think even just a straight shrunken head on her would have been much smarter. But, whatever. I mean, they are the lead. Hopefully it doesn't come to bite him in the ass, because this game isn't over by any means, but it's just going to be very difficult for Team 15.
Yeah, definitely not over. 23 and a half minutes. Can't stress that enough. Again, this is game number 3, guys, as you can see on your screen. We're tied at 1 game apiece. It's an elimination game here in the round of 128. You lose, you're done in the tournament. You win, you move on to the round of 64, and you're one step closer to advancing onto the group stage, where, again, you at least get a piece of that $40,000 prize pool. So everything on the line here for Team Pikachu and Team 15. We do got a big setup from Team Pikachu. Speaking of them, Fade running in. Now, again, he's right next to a Revelation. He needs to be careful, but he doesn't even carry. He runs it. Oh, he avoids the Sticky Bomb, actually. More so missed Sticky Bomb by Bombardier even. And the tower will go down. So that is there is still the top outer tower, but 5 tower kills in total happening now in favor of our Legion team. And they've only lost 2 themselves. So obviously, again, just another advantage for our Legion side. 9,100 gold lead, 5,400 experience lead, as well as a 16 to 10 hero kill lead. Also doing some more counter warding. And now Kongor, of course, he's obviously up and kind of around that area, but not going to dare go for it at this point. So. But I just keep going back to this point. I mean, look at the minimap. The vision is just, they're blind. They've been blind for so much of this game as Team 15 because of that bound die. Obviously, they killed Fade earlier and got the bound die, but now, what's that actually? Did she get it back? Is that how? She didn't buy another one, did she? I believe they actually just got it back.
I didn't look, actually.
Paying attention to that, so. Nymphora actually pointed the bottom lane. There comes a kill fit on Fade. He doesn't have his ultimate for 19 seconds, so he's going to need to stand his ground. It's not going to happen, though. The damage is way too much.
There's another bound die.
There you go. Another bound die, and Nymphora will gladly pick that up. So that's a big kill.
That's one of the crappy things about, too, is the strategy of buying a bound die on Fade. Obviously that's the one thing that the other team is going to want to have if you're playing against a Fade.
Yeah.
So that's not good for him.
Yeah, and the fact that you can't drop it anymore now and do
you can destroy it, but
yeah, that's
a little bit more difficult.
The whole drop trick, though. They can't use it, but yet Nymphora, that was kind of a bad place, bad time, and Invisible Polywog Priest happens to be roaming by. And, well, you can do the math on what happened there. So, drops in the end. Bubbles will be able to port out here. Obviously has a portal key as well. Not going to Homecoming Stone port out, though. It looks like, but the Legion team, so I thought that Shrunken Head pickup may have been the cue here for Team Pikachu to just kind of put things together and make a push, but no, not just yet. Still taking their time, being somewhat passive. Again, a lot of money's on the line overall in this tournament, and this is a very, very big game, so maybe that is coming into play a little bit, but Shrunken Head has not been used yet, just to double check on that by Corrupted Disciple. Kongor, though, being attempted somewhat. I don't think this is necessarily a... Oh, I guess now it is, actually. We're going to see Ward. No, Ward's actually on cooldown, but there comes a Storm Cloud even coming out from...
It's just kind of risky, and I think they realize it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is no vision, but of course with an Luna on the opposition, they can constantly power throw to check, as we saw right there. So,
yeah, they have very low mana on Polywog Priest. She did just use wards earlier, so they're going to smartly back out from that. As I don't think that they had any business taking Kongor right there.
Yeah, especially, I mean, you look at this Hellborn team. If they get caught in a cluster like that, that could just be game over for them. I mean, you got Bombardier Airstrike, you got Crippling Volley Piercing Arrows. You have, of course, Kelfield and all the AoE that Bubbles does, on top of Zeal coming out, so that could be very dangerous, very risky. But, of course, they end up falling back, and we do have a pause here by our Legion team, it looks like, so...
Destroy Futter.
That is. Destroy Futter. Again, probably saying like dog shit or something like that, but...
I want to go Google Translate that and see if I can find out.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
You can do that right now, just to make sure.
Translate. Google Translate.
Maybe I'm overthinking it too much. Maybe it just means like.
It's probably just a name.
Yeah, just
like
random name. Apparently, a producer looks it up already. You speak German, don't you?
I do speak German. I looked it up.
Is it even German?
It is German. Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen.
Ah.
And it actually means some like food that you feed an animal, and like litter. So I don't really understand what it means exactly. Maybe people on the stream.
Garbage food or something?
Yeah, it's like garbage food.
Like the bad apples that you feed to the cows or whatever.
Right, something like that.
Okay, that's a weird name to have. I don't know. Could they hear you, by the way? Okay. Okay. That was Matt Klein, by the way, our producer. So, but that random God's voice is coming out. So there you go. That's some fun information facts of the day. You got right there. Some translation going on.
There you go.
I was hoping to be a little bit more exciting than that, but I guess not. Can't win it all. So yeah, coming up to the 27-minute mark here, our Legion team does remain to be in the favor, but like I said, this game by no means over. I mean, Forsaken Archer, she has surpassed that 300 gold per minute mark, and she's got the Nullstone finish, so that is going to be helpful, especially against that Corrupted Disciple. Won't be able to conduit him, at least effectively. So.
Right. The one thing I don't like Nullstone is it literally does not block any of Faye's spells. You would think it would, but it doesn't. And that's kind of an annoying thing. Also, Polywog has 3 different ways to get rid of your Nullstone. It's just a matter of what she decides to use. Usually people I see will jolt them so that they can use both of the disables, or have both of the disables available with the tongue tie and a morph. But there's so many spells on the Legion team to disable that Nullstone, between the Ice Imprisonment from Glacius, the Entangle from Disham, 3 spells from Poly, the Conduit from Corrupted Disciple, although that is one spell you do not want to waste onto Nullstone. But they have options to use. That's why I don't really like Nullstone. I think it's okay. I would say Shrunken Head would be good for her early on, but Corrupted Disciple is going to be doing so much physical damage to her that it seems kind of useless to get, as well as the Polywog wards are going to be pounding onto her as well. So it's kind of a awkward game for Forsaken Archer, and I feel it. I feel for it.
Yeah, it's obviously it's been somewhat of a difficult game for them as well. Just the strategy from Team Pikachu has just been that much better, and it's been working. But we have possible initiation right there, but not able to chase them down. So of course, Red Power Throw was used by Luna to spot Congra once again. They were doing a little bit, but by no means going full out on it. Fade is going to run through once again. Of course, she has that bound die, so we're going to do some counter warding with it, with some assistance actually. And in fact, she actually comes out of her ultimate red. Not too sure why, to be honest.
I think it's just she's only level 10. Last for
okay.
Such
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I was like, that's pretty short. Anyways, so there goes the revelations that were just put down recently by our Hellborn team. Again, that's the power of the bound die for you. So wait, did they get that back? I'm still confused. It's hard to keep track of that.
I think they just keep buying them.
Okay.
To be honest.
Huh. So yeah, I guess maybe we should just buy another one. But where's the one on the Hellborn side then? Because I know Nymphora had it after that killed the bottom. I don't think they died since then. There's none on, so maybe they're just
good question.
A base. I don't know. Just destroying it.
Good question, Breaky. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's just one of those things. I'm sure chat's gonna be like, "You guys are idiots. You're not paying attention to that." Like, no, we don't fucking pay attention to that. Anyways, Forsaken Archer is actually in a little bit of trouble at the top lane. Nymphora's gonna be porting in. The Bombardier will be dropped before he can absolutely do anything. As Nymphora ports in with Bubble, so the Kelphood used, but the damage already done, of course. Great homecoming still ports from our Legion side. Able to catch Bombardier, and Forsaken Archer also just had to run away. So just catching them off guard, I guess, with the port-ins up top.
Yeah, I don't know if Nymphora porting right directly onto enemy team Polywog wards is the smartest thing. That could have been much worse for them. But they do realize that, and they backed away immediately. And now it looks like a tower push is going to happen here at the top lane, and I think they're going to get it.
Now, Bombardier can buy back, but he also only has 20 seconds left, so it's probably a case of probably not worth it. Just going to try to wait this one out, not be able to help out his team in terms of defending this top tower. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't even think they're even going to attempt to. I mean, this tower is going to drop, and that'll be the last outer tower for 14-15, so they're down to their base, and that is it. That's never a good sign in a game in well, just this game in general to make the obvious point. But they're going to also kind of steal the jungle, well, not stacks necessarily, but the jungle creeps, and make their way towards another lane. So again, really haven't gone for that full force finishing push by any means, but it's just adding up over time, and it's just getting bigger and better, kind of a team snowball even. But Hellborn side, you know, Forsaken Archer does continue to creep up. She has purchased some Mighty Blade, so...
Oh, Nymphora game coming up here. Oh, it actually... oh my god. Okay, the Nymphora ulti was canceled. Okay, they do get the kill. That was just a weird cluster of things happening. Nymphora canceled the ultimate. I don't know if she got stunned or something, but at the same time, Fade ulted to get away, and then immediately attacked something.
Oh.
I think just panicked or maybe just misclicked a creep, and accidentally attacked and broke out of her ulti. So that was just a couple of misplays there on both sides, but ultimately they do get the kill on Fade, and another Boundai lost. I don't know if they're getting shuffled around or if they just keep losing and then buying them. We'll have to watch again because Fade is now level 11 and maybe she'll buy. She bought. Yep, that's probably like the 5th Boundai purchase this game by her.
Interesting.
So
Luna's carrying this one though for now. So we'll, again, try to keep an eye on that, but it can get confusing at times. But yeah, so that now I will say, Bombardier, the airstrike wasn't necessary for the kill, but it did get him the kill, so he did actually get the gold bonus for it. And you see his gold saved up right now. He has 3,000 gold, so it leads me to believe that, well, I guess it still could be either, but I think his sheep stick could be very powerful this game, as it is in most, so.
Yeah.
Possible his choice, but again, we'll wait and see. It has a lot of gold saved up, but maybe in this game he feels that also having buyback money could be pretty damn important.
Now, this is going to be the stage of the game where it gets very, very stagnant. Because, you know, they do have a great pushing team on Legion. They are up gold in experience, quite a bit in gold as well. And they do have a big tanky hero in Corrupted Disciple with DreamHoN helping support. But it is just exponentially more difficult to actually push into the base because you're dealing with a couple of different things. You're dealing with the uphill vision that you have to screw around with, and as well as the miss percentage onto the tower, and just the overall positioning that favors the Hellborn side or the defender side, whoever that may be. So the things to combat that are they have to get a barrier idol, makes things so much more easy for a team that's pushing in because it keeps the creeps there and it makes them less susceptible to spamming that's going to happen from the opposite team. So that's something I'd like to see Corrupted Disciple pick up. Even though he has that shrunken head, he is the most likely candidate to pick up something like that. And I don't see teams do that enough. It's a very popular strategy in Dota actually. And for a while there we were seeing a lot of the top teams like TDM and Fnatic will take advantage of that and vilify that because they understand how important that is. And hopefully teams catch on.
You would say your own team was one of the top teams.
I would, yeah.
No, of course they were. And on that note, actually, I know Moonmeander was actually pretty... He definitely stressed that point as well quite a bit on his stream. Well, he thinks...
I taught him everything I know.
At least. But I guess, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, you
still
actually
a big cheater, but...
comes from you. But yeah, Barrier Idol definitely can be considered another one of those, similar to Nullfire Blade, as we were talking about. I believe that was the first game. Really undervalued items even, so...
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Corrupted Disciple would be the ideal candidate, but I mean, he has a Firebrand. I gotta think he's gonna turn that into a Geometer Spain. First, top lane, they are able to get, and again the Boundai gets dropped and picked up by Bubbles right there. So Nymphora's doing work, man. I mean, we've seen several Nymphora ports now this game that have actually been successful. So
yeah, Rhythmy's doing a great job here on Nymphora despite the very horrible start that they had. But at the same time, I don't know why Fate is up here. I don't think she has any business farming these lanes. If I was Fate, I'd be ulting. I got that Boundai. I'd be just walking around the map doing jogging, doing miles. I don't know. There's no reason for him to really be farming. Yeah. And these pickoffs are not what Legion team needs. And actually another Boundai pickup. You probably saw that too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's got to be what, number 6? Is anyone keeping a tally?
I think that's 5, maybe 6. Yeah, it's that's a lot of gold that he's invested into these Boundais. But you know, I guess with him, I mean, he is playing that support role. So now, if he was playing more of the, at least initially, you know, kind of try to snowball with, then probably wouldn't be seen that case. But I think it's, and, you know, he's got the tablet, he's got his initial item, so it's like, you know what, I'll just keep sacrificing for the sake of the team. But yeah, that's got to be frustrating. They do have Luna has the Boundai now, but there is also one in their base. So again, there's been a couple that have been destroyed by now, but Hellborn team technically has 2 bound eyes right now, and we have the 3rd one on the map, of course, picked up by Fate, as we just mentioned. So, Corrupted Disciple, double damage rune. They are going to counter ward in the Conquer Pit initially, so now they're going to attempt to Conquer a little bit here, but again, I don't think it's going to be a kill. Really just going to kind of gauge it a little bit. Our wards.
I think Paulie needs to throw wards.
Yeah, if they use wards, then obviously committing to it. They're not using wards though, so and without the wards, they're not going to get this kill. So it's one of those catch-22s.
This could be a huge mistake by Legion if they do get caught out of here. They are taking it rather quickly with the double damage, and that's certainly helping them in that regard. But oh, it's going to be close. Yeah, I think they are going to get it actually.
It's going to be so freaking close. There's a power throw. They know how low it is. They're going to go for a Shrunken activate. Bubbles jumps in. He did not get it, though. It looks like Corrupted Disciple picked it up. Yes, he did. The airstrike going to be used, but 0 damage coming out from it. So it ended up being a big mishap right there for the Hellborn team, and we see Team Pikachu is going to push the middle lane. This could be that final forcing push that we're talking about. We saw right there, actually, Forsaken Archer nullifying what I believed to be the Electric Jolts coming out from Polywog Priest, but wasn't able to get the Hex off in time. So going to survive, but yeah, well, it could have been scary for the Legion team. Ended up working out for them pretty damn well.
Yeah, Bubbles actually did get the credit for that kill, so she did get the...
okay.
I don't know why I said she. I don't know why I say... Like, sometimes I don't know the gender of these heroes. I just, like, have this...
There are some where you just, you don't know.
Yeah. But it just seems like a female to me. I don't know. But, Bubbles did get the credit for the kill and did get the experience boost from that. And he does have a... now it's a he. Does have a buyback. I don't think he was going to need to use it, though, because there's only 15 seconds left. But this could be an interesting fight.
Yeah, we see Corrupted Disciple on the front lines. He doesn't have a Shrunken Head just yet, but again, that token of life. There's a ward trap happening. Oh, the double tablet out, though, for a Bombardier. Going to be fine. Piercing Arrow is going to be used by Forsaken Archer. Shrunken Head again is activated. Corrupted Disciple. You are my fault. Nope, Geometer's Bane. And he will survive. So choosing to use his items rather than just letting himself die and regen with everything. Going to be fine for now. Kefka going to be used. And there's a Shrunken Head actually used by Corrupted Disciple. So Corrupted in very panic mode here despite having that token of life. And now they definitely need to get out because without those cooldowns, if he gets caught again, that could actually be pretty dangerous. So yeah, they're going to fall back here. And, well, our Hellborn team, not too shabby of a defense. No, it's safe to say Team Pikachu may be overextending a little bit right there. But Team 15, they hold it off, at least the ultimate push. But the token of life is still up on Corrupted Disciple. So they at least have that, can kind of reset here.
That just shows you, again, how difficult it is to actually push in the base. I mean, they were fighting 4-on-5. They didn't have the Polywog ward, that makes a huge difference, but they did have everything, pretty much everything else, and a Corrupted Disciple just pounding away. Yeah, and actually, if you look at the experience in gold, it's much closer together than it was, even after Conquer was taken.
Yeah.
And that whole issue or that whole fight happened. Before it was 9K in gold, and pretty much the same in experience, but that gap was closing. And this is still a game. This is still a close game.
Again, no matter what happens in this game, the series will be finished, as again, this is game number 3, so when you move on and lose, you are done in the DreamHoN Summer Championships. So both teams obviously know what's on the line here and definitely giving it their all, so got to give them a lot of props for that. Team Pikachu taking on Team 15. Pikachu won the first game, Team 15 responded in the second game, leading us to the third and final game for the quick recap right there. But the Legion team, Team Pikachu, they are going to group up once again, pushing the middle lane. The Corrupted Disciple, all his cooldowns are ready to go. He has his items ready, his ultimate's cooldown ready. They're going to push this middle tower, and this time, look at Corrupted Disciple, he has a haste rune even activated. And the Storm Cloud, defensive Storm Cloud is currently on him, so the armor is just stacking up right here. That's something else to keep in mind if the Hellborn team chooses to initiate in these next couple of seconds, but looks like almost as they're aware of that, so they're going to let that wear off first. But this tower will fall as a result. And Corrupted Disciple kind of being a little bit more timid now, but there we go. Bubbles jumps in Hellfire on the Demented Shaman, trying to go for the kill. Onto him, they will pick off the Demented Shaman, but the Shrunken Heads, their glowy targets are appearing out left and right. Bombardier picked off once again before he can do anything. He buys back though, so keep that in mind here. He has that Airstrike level 3 ready to go if he can find the appropriate timing for it, but no, not just yet. Now the racks are going to start taking a lot of damage. Currently the only one dead is Demented Shaman. Bombardier did use a second buyback right there, by the way. So he is completely out of buybacks now, but again, they hold it off. So the racks are still alive. As long as they got those racks, our Team 15 can still be pretty happy.
Yeah, the second buyout on Bomb is huge, and hopefully Team Pika has noted that, because when you start to get into the very late stages of the game, and you know that a key hero like Bomb or FA has no buybacks, your game plan is basically kill them and we win the game.
Yeah.
And so it's really that buyback is huge. I don't know if I would have done it there. I think they could have held it off without him because he didn't really do that much with it in. But maybe Pika just did a good job and was screaming buy back, and they all got back right when they saw that. But right now, I mean, it's still a close game. I mean, we got 900 gold or experience gap now. That's the closest it's been in like 20 minutes. The gold did go up a little bit, but that's got to be because of the tower kill that they got. But this is still a really close game, and if this keeps going on longer, and if Bomb doesn't die again in these fights, he's got to really be careful about his positioning. I could definitely see Hellborn still taking this game.
Yeah, it's again, this continues to be a very, very much closer game. You talked about it earlier when we're coming to, I believe, around the 20-minute mark. You mentioned for the Hellborn team to, if they are going to be coming back in this game, then very likely it could take going up to even around the 60-minute mark. So here we are now, 41 minutes in just about. And it's definitely seeming like that this game may not be over very quickly here. So it could very likely approach that point. And yes, we'll start seeing Forsaken Archer getting bigger and better. I mean, right now, she doesn't have damage items. I mean, she's got a Shrunken Head and a Null Stone. So you got to think the next item of choice will be more that aggressive. In fact, there you go, Slayer purchase. So Savage Mace is going to be the item of choice here for Forsaken Archer. So just you ask and you shall receive when it comes to busting out some damage. So that's good for the Hellborn team. Bombardier actually just purchased a Mighty Blade as well. So again, I got to think that a Shrunken Head for him very likely going to be case. But the Legion team, they kind of know that they want to keep this pressure up while they have the advantage. So they're going to once again push Corrupt Disciple. Token alive still, just over a minute remaining. Very defensive Stormcloud used right there. I guess it did catch a couple of heroes as well on Forsaken Archer and Bubble. So their armor is going to start dropping. Look at that. Forsaken Archer actually taking a bit of damage. Corrupt Disciple did pick up a shield breaker. That's worth mentioning too. Going into this fight. So the melee racks taking some chip damage here from Corrupt Disciple. It's one of those catch-22s again for Team 15. It's like, well, we can go in and kill him, but he will just resurrect. How much are we willing to use on him? But if we don't, there we go. Shrunken and activated actually very aggressively by Corrupted. But the nice double tap it on him for keeping him alive. So this racks will fall, but Corrupt Disciple will be out of Shrunken. In the meantime, in the background, Bombardier dropping quickly. Polywalk Priest taking a lot of physical damage despite that Shrunken. There's the airstrike coming out, and Polywalk Priest will be finished off. So the melee racks is dead, but both Fade and Polywalk Priest sacrificed their lives to do so, and now they're completely on the run. Looks like Glacius and Demented should be fine, but will they actually? Corrupt Disciple gets caught right here. This could be huge here for the Hellborn team, and the turning point of the game. Corrupt Disciple fall, of course, going to come back up, but will it be enough to hold their ground? There comes the crippling volley, the power throw on top, but no, Corrupt Disciple going to be fine as the Hellborn team actually. They just go in retreat mode, and they're just happy with the initial kill. So Demented Shaman running up here will catch an entangle on the Bubbles actually. Or no, he will not. The take cover was used. And he's going to be able to port on time. Bombardier, again, the tablet of command to barely get away. And it will be fine for now, but now the name of the game is don't overextend here if you're the Legion team, as they will fall back. So, I don't know. I mean, got to think Team Pikachu pretty happy with that, but they held it off pretty well at the same time.
Yeah, you always got to give it to the team that got the racks. I mean, that just puts so much more added pressure and makes strategy overall so much easier for the team that does kill the racks. But, I talked about how Tablet of Command is not that great against Bubbles, but if you look at the opposite, Tablet of Command is just saving this entire Hellborn team, and that is such a great item when you're playing against a hero like Corrupted Disciple and Polywalk Priest especially, to be able to tablet people out of ward traps, to tablet people out of the chase that's coming in from Corrupted Disciple. So that is a great pickup, and how many people have that on that team? Now, both on, they have it on Bombardier as well as the Luna. I would like to even see a third one, because that item is just saving them constantly. As far as that push that happened, yes, they did have the Token of Life on Corrupted Disciple, but you got to make a decision. You got to either say, okay, let them take their racks. Don't try to get into a bad fight. We can come back from a set of racks down. It's okay. Don't fight into a token. Or they could just say, all right, we got to go all out, kill the Corrupted Disciple, use everything on him, and then kill him again right when he respawns.
Yeah.
And they kind of went in between there.
Yeah.
So I think they could have played that a little bit better, just have a little bit more of a definitive strategy the next time Team Pika decides to push.
Yeah. Well, by the way, our Pound Eye situation, both Fade. I wanted. Did she buy one again? Because she did die in that last fight, so maybe she did. Anyways, both teams do have one though. Nonetheless, that's what really matters. So to keep that in mind, Corrupted Disciple level 2 shield breaker now, so level 3 just about here. on the way. And in a game like this, of course, buyback's very important. You can't stress it enough. Bombardier, 0 buybacks, so very worth keeping in mind. But you also brought up a very good point. Again, we have the God vision. We can see everything. We have all this information as spectators, so it's easy for us to sit here and say, oh yeah, they should know he doesn't have a second buyback. But when you're in the game, again, I'm sure you can speak for this many of times, you're not certain 100% of the time. I mean, he may say, does he have a buyback? I don't know. I thought he used it, and then a lot of debate goes on, and before you know it, it's just you're really just not too sure. So, and better to be safe than sorry. But
yeah.
So for Pikachu, you would hope for their sake that they are aware that he doesn't have a buyback. But
hopefully they are. I'll tell you, it's very easy to remember the buyback counts on like the carry heroes. So like Forsaken Archer, because those are the heroes that you really look for in team fights. Bombardier is not like typically your carry hero, so it might have gone a little bit under the radar. Like they might not know exactly. They should know. I mean, good teams need to know because that's extremely useful information. But they might not know. Oh my God, is that a demonic breastplate picked up by D-Shot?
I just saw that too. Yeah,
that is huge. That is a big pickup.
Yeah, level 3 Shieldbreaker, but look at Forsaken Archer. She's actually got her Savage Mace now as well, as a result of pushing that top lane in. So, of course, Kongor is up. You see they were kind of attempting it, but not really. Stormcloud used defensively right there, so a lot of armor stacks going on right now. Polywire Priest trying to catch Bombardier once again. He tablets away, though, so will be fine. And not going to happen. So a little bit of a chance of initiation there, but unsuccessful. But the big items are delivered. We have a jump off for the Hellborn team. They're going to say it. Balls to the wall right here. Corrupted Disciple immediately splits up, activates the Shrunken Head. He's jumping back in. Shrunken Head also on Polywire Priest. They're catching Forsaken Archer, and Forsaken Archer will just melt away. So the Savage Mace doing absolutely nothing, and very likely that is a GG right there. She cannot buy back for 70 seconds. She will not be back in this game, and they're just going to clean up the base now. So that was it right there. I mean, the Hellborn team, they went big risk with a jump themselves, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, Flensmeister played such a great game last game, but that he had no business walking up there being that aggressive. He is the most important hero on that team right now, and when she dies, that is huge. She used her BK or her Shrunken Head so late, it really did nothing. All that auto attack damage, like I talked about. Corrupted Disciple, he's pounding so much auto-attack damage with that overload, and now he has the Shieldbreaker level 3. So Shrunken Head really doesn't make that big of a difference when you're Forsaken Archer, because all that physical damage is still really taking a toll on her life, and that was such a huge exchange right there, and now it's going to be near impossible for them to come back.
Again, it is game 3, the elimination game, so you're done. It's all done, but so I'm not surprised to see them not concede, honestly, but I mean, yeah, it's coming back from that, it's very unlikely. In fact, I don't think they're gonna. I mean, are they gonna get this Conger kill? Forsaken Archer's up in about 5 seconds, so she will resurrect, but then she needs to make her way over here, of course, if they choose to do so. Legion team, though, they're gonna try to counter-initiate, it looks like, and this is gonna really catch them off guard. Bombardier had no clue Faye was right on top. Will activate the Storm Spirit, but that'll just delay the inevitable. In the meantime, Nymphora also gonna get picked off. Aluna getting trapped. Nice tongue-tied right there. She tried to tablet away. Been so useful this game, but she will also fall on yet another bound die on the ground. So now I kind of expect some GGs to be called here by our Hellborn team, because it's just obviously you're not coming back from this point. I mean, we're 48.5 minutes in now. The gold lead and experience lead, again, not too devastating, but there's a lot more than just those stats that stand out. In fact, we're going to have one last go right here, apparently. Bubbles jumps in. He ports out. Forsaken Archer standing your ground with that Shrunken Head, but just look at Corrupted Disciple just running up. He don't give no shits. The fact that you're gold right there. And he's just going to go in your face despite that Shrunken Head. So the racks, or the tower's now being destroyed, and the racks, of course, going to follow up. So perhaps just Mega Creep's going to spawn, and we may just finish this game the old-fashioned way. But nonetheless, it looks like Pikachu will be advancing on to the round of 64. And Team 15, unfortunately, their road will end here for the DreamHoN Summer Championships.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, these are both great teams. They both played the series very well, and just seems like Pika had a really strong lineup and strategy coming into the 3 of these games. You know, the second one didn't work. I questioned the tree pickup very early on. I think that had a big part to do with why they lost that game. But the strategy they came in with this game was just so strong, and I really commend them for that.
Yeah, definitely deserving of the GG well players that are coming out right there, but it looks like it is going to become official here. Team Pikachu will take the series 2-1 as a result of that Game 3 victory right there. Again, very deserving. They looked good throughout the whole series, really. That game number 2, yes, Team 15 They did come back and made it a very interesting series indeed, but Team Pikachu, they did prove to be the better team overall in this series, and of course that is the point of it. Like you said, it is kind of unfortunate because honestly both these teams, I could have seen both these teams in the group stages, really, again with top 32 teams moving on. Both these teams could definitely deserving of being in the group stages, but you know, that's just the luck of the draw. That's how it happens, and sure enough, they met in the round of 128, and only one can move on from there. So,
yeah.
But it will be fun seeing Pikachu eventually later on down the course. They haven't made it just yet. They still got to win one more time now to qualify for the group stages, but they are one step closer. So.
Yeah, sometimes it's just inevitable in these brackets where you have teams of this caliber meeting each other before the group stages.
Yeah.
And this is just one of those times, and those are both great teams. But in the end, you know, you gotta play your best, despite where you are in the bracket. And Pikachu, I think, really came out on top, and I think it's due to the drafting and just the overall preparation that they had, and just their overall strategy with what they brought to the table. I mean, I really like, especially this last game. I just love what they had. You know, support Fade was really strong. He was doing a really great job early on, despite the kind of failed ganks in the mid lane.
That's right.
You know, when you're trying to push. When you have a solo DreamHoN, like I said before, I really love solo DreamHoN because you get those levels on him, and you sit behind a team. It's so hard to go onto a DreamHoN that has farm, and then you can't really go onto the team because he saves the team. And when you're doing all that in the midst of polywog wards being thrown down, it's just such a strong strategy, and Pikachu really executed it well.
Yeah, again, can't stress enough. Very deserving of the victory. It's unfortunate only one team moves on, but that's just how tournament play works. So, Team Pikachu going to the round of 64. Again, one step closer now to that round of 32, which that's where the group stages begin, and you're at least getting a piece of that $40,000 prize pool. So that is the big mark, I know, for a lot of these teams out here, I'm sure, including Team Pikachu. Will they make it? You know, we'll have to see tomorrow, as obviously when the round of 64 takes place. On that note, once again, so today wrapping up, but tomorrow we'll be right back here on honcast.com at the same time, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European Time. We'll be coming at you with a round of 64, and what I'm sure, no matter what the matchup, will be a great matchup because, again, it's so much more is even on the line there. You're just that close to advancing onto the group stages. You do not want to lose at that point. So I'm really excited for tomorrow, then eventually getting into those group stages. But, Ralph, man, I mean, this is, what, our third day now down. Plenty more to go. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good. Looking forward to much more Han.
Yeah, I am too. It's been a lot of fun so far, guys. And again, I know initially, the first day especially, we're having some stream issues. Again, we are using a lot of new equipment here, obviously, and still much more to come on top of that. I don't want to act like that this is it. I mean, this isn't that big upgrade that we've been talking about for so long, but this is definitely the beginning. So big shout out to Matt Clan, our producer, with that said. Big shout out to Cammy as well, who definitely was a big creator as far as the assets and graphics that we are using. So on that note, though, guys, tune in tomorrow, again, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European Time. As far as today goes, we're going to wrap this up. Team Pikachu victorious. Congratulations to them one more time. I was Breaking CPK. Joining me was Ralph Amador. And as always, guys, stay tuned to honcast.com for much more coverage. See you tomorrow. Go to the beach once again. Peace.
Peace.